Hey, you alright? Can you hear me?
Welcome to this special episode of Out Alive, a podcast dedicated to showcasing extraordinary feats of survival and courage. Our team was recently forwarded a remarkable video. It's the kind of thing you hear about, but rarely are these stories recorded. During this video, you're going to hear from two people. One voice you'll hear is Francis Zuber, a Washington local who was skiing Mount Baker during a huge powder day. Francis was wearing his GoPro and just out of bounds when he happened to see a snowboard sticking out of the snow. It took him a few minutes to realize the snowboarder was buried alive and unable to get out of the tree well he'd fallen into. You'll also hear from Paul Baugher, the global expert in snow immersion suffocation. Since 2001, Baugher has logged every publicized case of snow immersion suffocation, or SIS, in the United States. After a 30-year career on ski patrol, he's devoted the last 20 years to educating resort skiers on SIS. So here's Francis narrating his own video from his point of view.
Friday, March 3rd, and it was an incredible day. The snow was extremely deep that day. It was probably the best week of the year, honestly. It snowed, I think, 4 feet throughout the week. So the conditions were all time. I started going through those trees. They're a little tighter than I would have liked. I was going quick, so I just sort of do this jump turn kind of thing and fall over on purpose, dump all my speed.
Now all the easy snow is skied out that's in the middle. Now we're going closer to the trees to get that last little bit of powder, and that's when we tend to see accidents.
At first glance, I didn't realize he was buried initially, but then when I yelled up to him and he didn't answer, I knew there was an issue and that I needed to get to him and that he was buried. I'm sure you know if you've been in deep snow like that, it's very hard to move uphill. So that 10 feet or so might as well have been a mile. And it was also the scariest part of the whole thing because I didn't know how long he'd been in there for. So I was really scared that he was going to die in there as I was struggling to get to him. I step out of my skis because I realized that sidestepping wasn't going to work at all. And you hear me start cursing because I just sunk. I'm like really pissed at myself in that moment. I was like, oh my God, was that the wrong call? I pretty much sunk chest deep in the snow. And then I'm trying to use my skis as a ladder at one point, and that's not really working too well. And I basically just had to clear the snow out in front of me until I could reach for his snowboard and use that for leverage. And then using his snowboard for leverage, get up over him and have a better angle to start digging him out with my hands.
Most of these people have had partners, and the partners get below them. The partners never see them. They usually wait at the bottom of the lift. Sometimes they call patrol, sometimes they don't. But 10, 15 minutes, that's your window. And that can even sometimes, that amount of time is not enough.
If you're in the snow like he was, that far down, you can't hear anything, you can't see anything, your air's running out. You're in the pitch black. You might as well be in concrete. I have my AVI 1 certification. Just read up and watch rescue stuff whenever I can. But yeah, that was my first doing something like that. And I was hoping and expecting actually him to be sitting up a little bit almost, not maybe a little more horizontal than he actually was, but he was pretty much inverted, just about, not totally upside down, but pretty close. So yeah, it took much longer than I expected to dig down to him. But that being said, I think I still made the right call digging with my hands first rather than taking the shovel out, just not knowing how long he'd been there for. I needed to get to his airway first and foremost before doing anything else. But yeah, I did not expect him to be as far down as he was.
The guy that did the rescue he did everything right. And when you watch it, and I've been in the rescue business for a long time, and that, him huffing and puffing and cursing and using his hands instead of his shovel, he did everything right. It was so real. He nailed it. So that, hero status, perfect, good job.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. We're both going to catch our breath for a sec. I'm going to help dig you out, okay?
Thank you.
No one else showed up at any point. Even after the video ends, when I turn the GoPro off, coming back to my senses, and I shut it off and dig him out the rest of the way, and then I pull him out and I give him a big hug and I said, "I'm glad you're okay." And he's like, "Thank you for stopping. You saved a life today." And so we just reconvened and debriefed for a quick second, and he radioed down to his buddies and let them know that he was buried, but he's okay now, that I dug him out.
It was a great, lucky example. If that guy didn't come by at the time that he did, and then his partners had to go back and look for him, dead for sure. No question about it. I'm just positive I can say that.
My ski partner that I was with, he could see me. You can't see him in the video, but he's down on the other side of this valley. So he could see me, and he thought that I had just lost the ski.
It's very much a dark side of powder, We all love powder, myself included. But, it has that extra risk that comes with it. It's all about keeping a partner in sight that is close enough to be able to render assistance to you if you need it. But 10, 15 minutes, that's your window. Do whatever you can to avoid falling forward. Found yourself unlucky enough to be propelled forward, heading for the tree, spread out, make yourself as big as you can, do whatever you can to grab branches, stay out of the inverted position.
It's definitely made me and my ski partners, reassess the way we do things in the backcountry and the side country, and even inbounds through the trees and stuff like that. A shout out to ski patrol and search and rescue crews out there that every day, all the time.
All right, how you doing? You good?
I'm good.
Okay, good.
But they are out there doing some incredible work. They just don't have GoPros on their heads as they do it. They don't get nearly enough recognition, so I just want to shout them out and say that they deserve way more gratitude than they get.